the last webinar of the series for universAAL. Today we are going to talk about the universAAL communities. This is the sixth webinar in a row. I will tell you in a second how to get to all the others, and this will be the last one. I'm joined today by Mengol Torres from universAAL Systems, and he will have the details of this talk. So he will address the communities and tell you what we did there. And contrary to the overview video, we will go into more detail about the service provider and the end user. And the technical things are mostly handled in the development. So you can have also a look on the website for universAAL. It's universAAL.org. Where you can also find trainings if you're interested in the technical track. And when you want to have a look at all the other webinars we did, there are also very technical ones and overview ones. Please join our YouTube channel, Project universAAL. You have the link provided here. And if that's not enough and you want to get even more involved, you can if you join AALOA. It's AALOA.org, and AALOA is the AAL Open Association. It's promoted by the partners of the European integrated projects like Persona and universAAL, and it basically maintains the source code and everything after universAAL has ended. So, and I would like to hand over to Mengol to lead you through this presentation.
Hello, thank you to all for your interest in our subject, in the universAAL project. Well, I'm going to speak about our work we have developed around this task related with making an analysis of the ecosystem of stakeholders around universAAL. Well, this is a general picture that shows in this presentation, in this picture, that shows the different main stakeholders that are involved around the platform and the use of ambient assisted living. The main one and the principal we have here is the very end user, who is the assisted person, the elderly or the handicapped that could be needing a continuous support with the particularity that he or she wants to live in their own house instead in a particular special residence. So this is named as AAL space, the ambient assisted living space, where is running the runtime platform, in this case of universAAL, which is the technological part of the system that is arranging all the stuff and all the communications between the both sides, the external side and the internal side, in the ambient of this person. In the other side, we have the developers, that are people, the technical minded, who are developing different kind of applications, and that they are supported with different development tools that were also developed around our project. And these applications then are uploaded and are supported in a platform that is named uStore, which is the part that has the visibility for the end user and also for the applicant assistance providers, that are other very particular important piece in this value chain. And well, so we have made an analysis of this ecosystem and relationships that have to be built in the future around what is named the community building, in order to gain the participation of all these very important parts in this system that have to work seamlessly together in order to make this a success in the long term. Well, in this other slide, we can see the global picture of the different stakeholders we have recognized in this work. The first two ones are the more technical minded, developers and deployers, who relate with all the necessary technical stuff in order to run this. But we are made some more focus with the other side, that is the end users, the assistance providers, and authorities and supporters that we are going to explain a bit further now. So these are the most important, of course, is the reason why everybody is working for the end user of the future. These are the assisted persons mainly. But in our case, we suppose that it's not this person, this particular person, who is going to buy or to select or to choose the different applications and services. Perhaps they would have some limitations in technical literacy, perhaps even other difficulties. So we are putting more effort and studying these other particular users who are the caregivers. Caregivers could be formal, could be informal, relatives of the elder people, who are the most indicated for selecting and choosing and buying at the end of on selecting the different applications and services that can be provided by means of the uStore and the rest of the platform of universAAL. Following in this chain, we have the assistance providers. It's another key participant in this value chain. This is formed by healthcare providers, social and well-being institutions, housekeeping service providers, and so on. With the next nexus between the very end user and then the next one, who are the authorities and the social services and so on. This is a very particular also key component of this ecosystem of users of these platforms. Finally, we have the authorities that are the main supporting organizations of all of this. Is who at the end perhaps is who have to pay the bills at the end for the different services that will be provided using this platform. So it could be private, could be public, and also we have other issues like the legislative and public welfare organizations, standardizations, bodies, and other support and organizations. So we have studied all these three main categories of users and their different relationships and how they all in between could collaborate in order to provide a sound and good environment for all of them be supported in between. And besides those, we have also found another, perhaps other kind of supporters or stakeholders that can also give support in between. We have already mentioned that the universal developers and deployers, but also the scientific community, universities and other research institutions that are all working also with the far future, with new developments that perhaps later or sooner will be converted in new, more advanced services. Also, we have found some friend projects that are also working with ambient-assisted living, and of course the European Commission, who's giving a lot of support, financial, and also in research and development, promoting this kind of applications. Well, in our results, we have discovered that these communities have some morphology. We have found they could be formal, could be informal. They reunite, they meet not also online using the well-known social network communities like Facebook and Twitter, but they also used to meet in person, on site, in different kinds of conferences and different meetings that are organized around Europe. And they also could be company driven, that are promoted by some industries or some public bodies, or could be user driven, that they are born spontaneously, only driven by their particular interest. Then we have found this picture now and discovered why people, these communities meet together and why they discuss together and they share these spaces. So in order to find this, we have followed this way. We have started first identifying these different categories of stakeholders. We have looked around different countries of Europe and outside Europe also, trying to identify the main authorities and assistance providers that could be interested around this subject and could be interested also in participating or creating new user communities. We have made contact with them, we have talked with them, we have having meetings with them, and we have a lot of work making them enthusiastic with this approach, and finally trying to get their compromise for being involved in the future. Because this project is ending near now at the end of this year, and something has to follow after the life of this project. So there afterwards will be someone or some industries and also assistance providers and developers that will take over the continuity of the use and the future of this platform. So in this future that we have studied and we have imagined, we see people that will be involved in these communities because they're interested in learning more, learning about the use of these new services and applications that we are going to provide. They will find a lot also of interest in making networks in between them, sharing experiences, perhaps some job opportunities for someone more related to the side of the assistant providers, and so on. Looking solutions to problems, meeting experts, could be a lot of interest that could be attractive for these people to meet around. This is what we have found in our survey and our studies in some of the main countries. Perhaps you can see that perhaps in Germany, the mentioned quantity around different kind of organizations that have identified like end user organizations, assistance providers, and authorities. We think that perhaps this has to evolve in the near future as long as this kind of applications evolve and the users will ask for more support for this. And then going inside how these communities behave as they are going to evolve in time. So normally the big effort has to be done here at the beginning of starting new communities, as this is the point we are just now, because even worse, because our platform has just born now, and there is no consolidated services and applications yet. So once we have this, new communities will be formed, perhaps spontaneously or not, and we'll have some different kind of participants that all will start in a new B category, then starting specializing, looking around, studying, and starting to talk. You can see below what is the behavior of this kind of people. At the very beginning, they only make some humble questions, then perhaps some time doing nothing, and up to more away, some of them became experts and can be some promoters or even can be some prescribers of these future applications and services. This is another picture that shows the effort that should be done for promoting and making this community building. There is some kind of return of investment that has to be supported by someone, perhaps part in public, part in private. A lot of effort should be done at the beginning of these communities devoting a lot of human resources and equipment and communication in order to pass some time until this community starts working spontaneously by their own effort. So in this moment, it's less important to invest human resources because this works almost alone with not so much effort for part of the private industry or even the public. Only has to be maintained or have some monitoring efforts taking care of these communities and some kind of monitoring. Well, and these were the results, the findings we had during these 4 years about the channels and the links and communication tools. We have found that it's quite early for using channels like the social networks. We have made some experiments using the Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and other ones, but we have found that it's very difficult at this moment to have our stakeholders involved discussing and making questions and participating because it's very early, because the platform is not still validated and pilots have not run. We have a lot of hope with the new related project that is called AALOA, who is going to make some about 7,000 with 7,000 users around Europe, some group of pilots where our platform should be validated, and we think that this will be a very good opportunity to see how these communities behave in the future. Then about the stakeholders and user communities that are already there, we have found the list on the table we have seen some minutes ago. The more professional, the more interesting. That is mainly that those that have some support from regional and national authorities. Then about the partners and related projects, we have found that this is very important and specific place where to find more stakeholders about these applications and services, and very good synergy can be found between them, and not only in the short term, but also to the mid and the long term, if we are able to make some compromise and some with some of them. Finally, some bottlenecks and barriers to overcome in the future. One of them, perhaps one of the principal, is having demos and having already working applications and services running that people can test and can see and touch. This is very important. And the other one, perhaps, we think that is the language. The local language is a key barrier in order to participate in any of the different platforms or channels or means that are there available. Doing this in the local language, mostly in our environment in Europe, we have found that is very important. Otherwise, only trying to foster and to promote community building only in English could be only have some little success in very particular niche groups of assistance providers or particular stakeholders. Well, this is in short terms the experience we had looking and analyzing the stakeholders focused in the groups around the end users in the 3 categories that we have experienced along the duration of our project. Hope you had some picture about this subject, and hope you can have some questions in order to be attended, even online, if you want. Thank you.
So thank you, Armengol, for this nice video webinar. Sorry, I really enjoyed it, and I would like to add one more point. As the project is ending, I think a very important point also in terms of stakeholders are the companies who participated in Universal, because they got to know each other and they kind of build up some trust, so to say. So related and further project will be more easily done or doable, and I think that was also a big benefit of Universal. But let me add again, if you want to know more, please check the AALOA.org and the universal.org website. This video will also be available, I think in a few days, will be available on our YouTube channel, Project universAAL, one word. You can also watch all the other webinars on our website, universal.org. You can also see the events that we will perform in January and the rest of the year. There is also the possibility to see whether there are trainings and when there are trainings, and you can also apply to trainings. You can download a lot of information from there. You can even download all the deliverables. It's going to take you a while to read through all of them, but they are all available there for you. So please, if you're interested, check them out. So are there any questions? So there's one question. There are a number of service and infrastructure providers that are working in the AAL area for years. Have you contacted them? Amengol?
Yes. Well, we have contacted, as we have shown in this table, some of them. Perhaps this category is more in the category of the middle, the assistance providers. The answer was near the same. No, they showed interested in this platform, but the main response is about wait and see, no? More or less. This is very common when some new technology is being developed. The majority people is waiting about the movements that are going to be done by the main players, no? So this is the answer. And the main attractive question is that this all the development is made in open source, so all the developers are free for obtaining the APIs, and the rest of the libraries and technologies are made available in order to easy the development of new applications. No? So there are no proprietary solutions, they are all open source, at least for what is related with universAAL, and of course it's all open code. Apart of this point, every company or every developer can make use of this and make their own proprietary application and making their own business.
Okay, I think it was really interesting to hear a non-technical webinar for once after all those really technical ones. Thank you again, Amengol, for doing this. And if there are no further questions, then I would like to close and invite you one last time to check out universal.org. There's a lot of information, and that's the end of the webinar series. And I would like all of the presenters, not only Amengol, who presented the different topics of Universal in this format, new to us, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. Bye bye.
Bye.